Welcome to our channel. Today, we'll explore the basic principles of Stoicism, a practical philosophy that has gained popularity in recent years for its unique and effective approach to dealing with life's challenges. If you're looking for ways to improve your mental health, manage anxiety, and find more balance in your relationships, Stoicism can offer valuable tools for your personal development. Stoicism is a philosophy that originated in ancient Greece around 300 BC, founded by Zeno of Citium. Over time, this practical philosophy expanded and became widely popular thanks to the contributions of notable philosophers such as Epictetus, Seneca, and the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Stoicism focuses primarily on the pursuit of wisdom and virtue, offering tools for facing life's challenges with resilience and serenity. To this day, Stoicism continues to be a valuable source of guidance for many seeking a more balanced and meaningful life. With the growing awareness of mental health and well-being, Stoic principles have proven particularly helpful in dealing with anxiety, stress, and other emotional issues. This philosophy offers a practical approach to living in accordance with reason, accepting the things we cannot change, and focusing on what we can control. In this video, we will explore the foundations of Stoicism and how you can apply this philosophy to your daily life. We will discuss the four main Stoic virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, as well as essential concepts such as the dichotomy of control and the practice of self-control. We will also cover the importance of living in accordance with nature and how to embrace destiny with the concept of amor fati. In addition, we will discuss practical daily exercises, such as morning and evening meditations, that can help you internalize these Stoic principles. Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy, but a living practice that can transform the way we face adversity and pursue happiness. Join us on this journey to discover how Stoic teachings can bring peace, resilience, and clarity to your life. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel to continue receiving videos, okay? The four cardinal virtues of Stoicism are wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Each of them plays a crucial role in the pursuit of a virtuous and happy life. Wisdom is the ability to discern what is good, evil, or indifferent. For Stoics, wisdom is the highest virtue, as it guides all others. It teaches us to make rational decisions based on reason and an understanding of the nature of things. A practical example of wisdom is the practice of meditation, where we reflect on our actions and thoughts to seek continuous improvement. Courage is not only bravery on the battlefield, but also the inner strength to face everyday challenges and adversities. Stoic courage involves accepting what we cannot change and acting firmly in difficult situations. This can include the courage to speak the truth, stand up for what is right, and deal with fear and uncertainty. Justice is the virtue that guides us to treat others with fairness and respect. For the Stoics, acting justly means being honest, impartial, and ethical in all interactions. This involves not only obeying the law, but also promoting the common good and helping those around us. An example of justice in practice is the pursuit of equality and defending the rights of the most vulnerable. Temperance, or self-control, is the ability to moderate our desires and impulses. It is the virtue that helps us avoid excesses and live a balanced life. For the Stoics, temperance is essential to maintaining a healthy mind and body. Practicing temperance can include everything from moderating our diet to regulating our emotions in stressful situations. These four virtues are interdependent and form the basis of Stoic ethics. Together, they enable us to live in accordance with reason and nature, promoting a state of harmony and tranquility. With these virtues in mind, Stoics believe that we can achieve true happiness and well-being regardless of external circumstances. One of the central concepts of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control, which teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. This principle is fundamental to Stoic philosophy, as it helps us direct our energies more effectively and achieve inner peace. What is within our control includes our own actions, thoughts, and reactions. In other words, we have control over how we choose to respond to life's events and circumstances. For example, we can control our reaction to criticism by choosing to accept it calmly and reflect on it, rather than reacting impulsively in anger. On the other hand, there are many things that are not within our control, such as the opinions and actions of others, the weather, and unpredictable external events. Trying to control these things is a common source of frustration and suffering. Stoicism teaches us to accept these aspects of life with equanimity, recognizing that fighting the inevitable is futile. To apply the dichotomy of control and practice, the Stoics suggest regularly reflecting on the events of the day and mentally separating what was and was not within our control. This allows us to focus our energies on the areas where we can truly make a difference, rather than wasting them on unproductive worries. For example, imagine that you are stuck in heavy traffic on your way to work. Instead of stressing about being late, something that is not within your control, you can choose to use this time productively, perhaps by listening to an interesting audiobook or podcast, something that is within your control. In short, the dichotomy of control empowers us to live in a more balanced and peaceful way, focusing on what we can change and calmly accepting what we cannot. This principle is a powerful tool for dealing with life's uncertainties and challenges, fostering a more resilient and positive attitude. Self-control is a fundamental virtue in Stoicism, as it allows us to control our impulses and emotions, acting in accordance with reason. For the Stoics, practicing self-control is essential to living a balanced and fulfilling life. One of the most effective techniques for developing self-control is mindful breathing. Deep, controlled breathing helps to calm the mind and reduce emotional reactivity. When faced with a stressful situation, we can pause and take a deep breath, allowing clarity and calm to return before responding. Meditation is another powerful practice for self-control. Through meditation, we can observe our thoughts and emotions without being carried away by them. This gives us the ability to choose how we respond to different stimuli, rather than reacting impulsively. An example of Stoic meditation is the practice of negative visualization, where we imagine possible challenges that may arise in our daily lives and mentally prepare ourselves to face them. Self-awareness is another key to self-control. Being aware of our emotional triggers and behavior patterns allows us to identify moments when we may lose control and gives us the opportunity to course correct before this happens. Keeping a journal where we record our daily reflections can be a valuable tool in developing this self-awareness. Finally, it is important to remember that self-control does not mean repressing or ignoring our emotions, but rather understanding and managing them in a healthy way. Stoics believe that by developing self-control, we can achieve a state of balance and serenity, facing life's challenges with greater resilience and clarity. With consistent practice of these techniques, we can strengthen our self-control and live a more harmonious life, aligned with Stoic principles. One of the central tenets of Stoicism is to live in accordance with nature. For Stoics, this means accepting life as it is and harmonizing our actions with the natural order of the world. This practice helps us find peace and acceptance, regardless of external circumstances. Living in accordance with nature is not just about adapting to the environment, but also about understanding our own inner nature. Stoics believe that by aligning our thoughts and actions with reason, we can live more authentically and meaningfully. This involves accepting life's events with equanimity, recognizing that many things are beyond our control. For example, if we are faced with a difficult situation, such as losing a job, we can apply the principle of living in accordance with nature by accepting the reality of the situation and focusing on the actions that are within our power to overcome the challenge. Instead of lamenting what we cannot change, we direct our energy towards seeking new opportunities and maintaining a positive attitude. Another important aspect is the practice of gratitude. By recognizing and appreciating the good things we have in our lives, we cultivate a mindset of abundance and contentment. This helps us deal with adversity more resiliently, as we remember that there is always something to be grateful for. In short, living in accordance with nature invites us to accept life as it is and to act in harmony with the world around us. This practice provides us with a sense of balance and tranquility, allowing us to face challenges with a Stoic mindset and find joy in the little things of everyday life. Amor fati, which means love of fate, is a Stoic concept that encourages us to embrace everything that happens in our lives, whether positive or negative events. By practicing amor fati, we learn to see each experience as an opportunity for growth and learning, accepting our fate with joy and gratitude. Stoics believe that everything that happens has a purpose and that we should embrace adversity with the same willingness we embrace happy moments. This does not mean being passive in the face of difficulties, but rather taking a proactive approach to seeking the best in every situation. For example, if we face a loss or failure, we can use that experience to become stronger and more resilient. Amor fati also involves the idea that the universe follows a rational order and that everything that happens is necessary for the balance and harmony of the whole. By accepting this, we can find peace and serenity, even in the most challenging situations. It is a practice that helps us see difficulties as an integral part of our path, rather than obstacles to be avoided. Practicing amor fati can be challenging, especially in times of suffering and pain. However, by cultivating this attitude, we develop an inner resilience that allows us to face life with courage and optimism. We can start by incorporating small daily practices, such as reflecting on the events of the day and finding positive aspects in each of them, even in the difficulties. Memento mori, which means remember that you will die, is one of the most profound and impactful concepts in Stoicism. It invites us to reflect on the inevitability of death and to use this awareness as a tool to live a fuller and more meaningful life. For Stoics, keeping mortality in mind is not a morbid practice, but rather a way to value each moment and prioritize what truly matters. By remembering that our existence is finite, we are encouraged to live with intention and purpose, making the most of the time we have. A common practice among Stoics is to begin the day by reflecting on death. This can be done through meditation or a simple moment of introspection. This practice helps us maintain a balanced perspective on our daily worries and concerns, reminding us that many of the things that cause us stress and anxiety are actually insignificant compared to the vastness of life. In addition, memento mori can motivate us to act with courage and determination. Knowing that our life is limited, we are more likely to make bold decisions, pursue our dreams, and not put off until the future what can be done today. This awareness also helps us maintain healthier and more meaningful relationships, as we remember to value and enjoy the time we spend with the people we love. In short, memento mori is a practice that reminds us of the preciousness of life and the importance of living in accordance with our values and purpose. By accepting mortality, we find the freedom to live more authentically and fully, enjoying each moment as a unique gift. Daily exercises are a fundamental part of Stoic practice, as they help us internalize the principles of the philosophy and apply them to our daily lives. Here are some daily Stoic exercises that you can incorporate into your routine. Morning meditation. Starting your day with a morning meditation is a great way to prepare your mind for the challenges ahead. During this meditation, take a few minutes to reflect on Stoic principles and how you can apply them to your day. Think about the possible adversities you may face and how you can respond to them calmly and rationally. Evening meditation. At the end of the day, evening meditation is an opportunity to review your actions and thoughts. Reflect on what you did well and where you can improve. Ask yourself, was I guided by wisdom and reason today? This daily practice of self-assessment helps reinforce Stoic principles and promote personal growth. Negative visualization. Negative visualization is a technique that involves imagining possible negative scenarios that could occur. For example, think about how you would react if you lost a valuable item or if something unexpected happened at work. This is not to create anxiety, but rather to prepare your mind to face these situations with calmness and acceptance. By practicing negative visualization, you become more resilient and less susceptible to shock when faced with adversity. Stoic journaling. Keeping a journal is a valuable practice for Stoics. Write about your daily experiences, thoughts, and reflections. Record the times when you applied Stoic principles and those when you failed to do so. This helps you maintain self-awareness and track your progress over time. Gratitude exercises. Practicing gratitude is essential to cultivating a positive mindset. Take a moment each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for. This can include people, experiences, or even small things that brought joy to your day. Gratitude helps you combat negativity and focus on the good in your life. Practice detachment. Another important practice is detachment from material possessions and expectations. Remember that nothing is permanent and that true happiness does not depend on possessions or external circumstances. By practicing detachment, you develop the ability to appreciate the present without clinging to the future or the past. These daily Stoic exercises are powerful tools for internalizing the principles of philosophy and living according to reason and virtue. With practice and consistency, you can transform your life and face challenges with a Stoic mindset. Applying the principles of Stoicism to personal relationships can transform the way we interact with others and significantly improve the quality of our relationships. Here are some Stoic concepts that may be helpful. Empathy and understanding. Stoics believe that all human beings share a common rationality. This means that despite our differences, we are all connected by our rational nature. Practicing empathy allows us to understand the perspectives of others and act with compassion. When someone upsets or disappoints us, it helps to remember that everyone is fighting their own internal battles. This helps us respond with patience and understanding rather than reactivity. Honest and respectful communication. Communication is key in any relationship. Stoics value honesty and clarity in interactions. This does not mean being brutally honest, but rather expressing our thoughts and feelings in a respectful and constructive manner. When we are honest in our communications, we avoid misunderstandings and build trust. Acceptance and detachment. In personal relationships, we often hold ourselves to unrealistic expectations of how others should act. Stoicism teaches us to accept people as they are, without trying to control or change them. This does not mean tolerating hurtful behavior, but rather recognizing that each individual is responsible for their own actions. Accepting others as they are allows us to cultivate healthier, more authentic relationships. Conflict resolution. Stoics encourage the resolution of conflicts in a calm, rational manner. Instead of reacting impulsively in an argument, we can pause, reflect on the situation, and approach the conflict with a calm mind. This helps us find constructive solutions and maintain harmony in relationships. Practical love. For Stoics, love is an action, not just a feeling. Showing love through concrete actions such as support, care, and attention strengthens bonds and fosters meaningful relationships. Small, everyday gestures of kindness and generosity can have a profound impact on relationships. In short, applying Stoic principles to personal relationships helps us cultivate empathy, honesty, acceptance, and practical love. These practices promote healthier, more harmonious, and satisfying relationships. Stoicism is a philosophy that can have a profound impact on mental health. Its principles and practices provide valuable tools for dealing with anxiety, depression, and stress, promoting a more balanced and resilient mind. 1.919/5.000 Coping with anxiety. Anxiety often arises from worries about the future and the unknown. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present and accept what is beyond our control. Practicing the dichotomy of control, where we distinguish between what we can and cannot control, helps us reduce anxiety. By focusing our energies on what is within our control, we avoid the mental strain caused by excessive worrying about the future. Managing depression. Depression can be influenced by negative thinking and a distorted perception of reality. Stoics encourage the practice of gratitude and reflecting on the good things in our lives. By keeping a gratitude journal, we can cultivate a more positive mindset and reduce negative thoughts. Additionally, the concept of amor fati, which teaches us to embrace our destiny and find joy in adversity, can help us reverse a pessimistic outlook and find meaning even in hardship. Reducing stress. Stress is often caused by the pressure to meet external expectations and the feeling of being overwhelmed. Stoicism teaches us to simplify our lives by focusing on the essentials and letting go of material things and unrealistic expectations. The practice of living in accordance with nature, accepting life as it is, also helps to relieve stress. Stoic techniques such as meditation and negative visualization prepare our minds to face challenges with greater calm and resilience. Fostering resilience. Stoics value resilience, or the ability to bounce back quickly from adversity. By practicing self-control and reason, we strengthen our ability to face challenges with courage and poise. Resilience allows us to see difficulties as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than insurmountable obstacles. Strengthening personal relationships. Healthy relationships are essential for mental health. Applying Stoic principles to personal interactions, such as empathy, honest communication, and acceptance, can significantly improve the quality of relationships. Stronger, more harmonious bonds contribute to a sense of support and emotional well-being. Reason is the cornerstone of Stoicism. For Stoics, reason is what sets us apart from animals and guides us toward a virtuous life. Reason allows us to discern between what is good, bad, and indifferent, and to make decisions based on logic and an understanding of the nature of things. Distinguishing between irrational impulses and rational decisions is a constant exercise for Stoics. Often, our emotions and desires can lead us to act impulsively and irrationally. However, by cultivating reason, we can learn to pause and reflect before acting. For example, when faced with an emotionally charged situation, we can use reason to objectively assess the situation and choose the best response. The practice of reason also helps us develop a sense of purpose and direction in life. By understanding our true needs and values, we can align our actions with our highest goals. This allows us to live more authentically and fulfilling lives. In addition, reason empowers us to deal with challenges and adversities with greater resilience. Instead of being dominated by fears and worries, we can use reason to analyze problems logically and find effective solutions. Reason gives us the strength to face difficulties with courage and serenity. Stoics believe that the constant practice of reason leads to personal improvement and happiness. By living according to reason, we can find a balance between our emotions and our thoughts, achieving a state of inner peace and mental clarity. The pursuit of tranquility of mind is a central goal in Stoicism. For Stoics, inner peace is achieved by living according to reason and accepting life as it is. Tranquility of mind allows us to face life's challenges with serenity and clarity. Stoics believe that true peace of mind comes from within, not from external circumstances. This means that no matter what is happening around us, we can maintain a calm and balanced mind by practicing self-control and acceptance. For example, when faced with a stressful situation at work, instead of getting frustrated, we can pause, take a deep breath, and remember the dichotomy of control. By focusing on what is within our control, we can deal with the situation more effectively and maintain our inner peace. Meditation is a powerful practice for cultivating peace of mind. Stoics often practiced meditation to reflect on their thoughts and actions. This practice helps keep the mind focused on the present and reduce emotional reactivity. An example of Stoic meditation is the practice of morning meditation, where we begin the day by reflecting on the challenges we may face and how we can approach them calmly and rationally. Another important aspect is simplicity. Stoics advocate living a simple life that is free from material excesses. By focusing on the essentials and eliminating unnecessary distractions, we can create an environment that fosters peace and mental clarity. This doesn't mean giving up all possessions, but rather adopting a minimalist approach, valuing what truly matters. The practice of mindfulness, or living in the present, is a core aspect of Stoicism. For Stoics, happiness and tranquility are found by focusing on the present moment, without getting caught up in worries about the past or the future. Mindfulness helps us cultivate a clearer, more accurate perception of the world around us. By focusing on the here and now, we can better appreciate the little things in life and find joy in everyday experiences. For example, when enjoying a meal, we can pay attention to its flavors, textures, and aromas, rather than getting distracted by random thoughts or worries. Stoics believe that living in the present allows us to face challenges more effectively. When we are fully present, we are better able to make rational decisions and respond to situations in a calm, balanced way. This is especially helpful in times of stress or conflict, where a calm mind can make all the difference. A practical exercise for cultivating mindfulness is meditation. Set aside a few minutes each day to sit in silence and focus on your breathing. Observe the thoughts that arise without getting caught up in them, letting them pass by like clouds in the sky. This practice helps train the mind to focus on the present and reduce emotional reactivity. In addition to meditation, we can practice mindfulness in our daily activities. When doing tasks such as walking, washing dishes, or talking to someone, we can strive to be fully present, appreciating each moment and experience. In short, the art of living in the present is a powerful practice that allows us to find happiness and tranquility in the here and now. By cultivating mindfulness, we can face challenges with greater clarity and appreciate the beauty of life in all its forms. Simplicity and detachment are fundamental concepts in Stoicism. Stoics believe that by focusing on the essential and eliminating excess, we can live a more peaceful and balanced life. Simplicity allows us to find peace and contentment with less, while detachment helps us deal with impermanence and change. In short, the art of living in the present is a powerful practice that allows us to find happiness and peace in the here and now. By cultivating mindfulness, we can face challenges with greater clarity and appreciate the beauty of life in all its forms. Simplicity and detachment are fundamental concepts in Stoicism. Stoics believe that by focusing on the essential and eliminating excess, we can live a more peaceful and balanced life. Simplicity allows us to find peace and contentment with less, while detachment helps us deal with impermanence and change. Living simply does not mean giving up all material possessions, but rather adopting a minimalist approach and valuing what truly matters. This can include making conscious choices about how we spend our time and energy, avoiding unnecessary distractions and commitments. By simplifying our lives, we create space for what is truly meaningful, such as relationships, personal growth, and well-being. Detachment is the practice of not getting attached to material possessions, expectations, or outcomes. The Stoics teach that nothing is permanent and that true happiness does not depend on external factors. By accepting the transitory nature of life, we can face loss and change with greater serenity. Detachment frees us from the fear of losing what we have and allows us to live with greater freedom and clarity. A practical exercise for cultivating simplicity and detachment is to reflect daily on our possessions and desires. Ask yourself, is this really necessary for my happiness? By evaluating what truly adds value to our lives, we can make more conscious choices that are aligned with our Stoic values. In addition, practicing gratitude helps us focus on what we have, rather than constantly wishing for more. Being grateful for the little things in life allows us to appreciate the present and find satisfaction in what we already have. Resilience is an essential quality for facing life's adversities with strength and poise. In Stoicism, resilience is cultivated through the constant practice of virtues and the application of philosophical principles in challenging situations. Facing adversity with a Stoic mindset allows us to grow and become stronger with each experience. Stoics believe that adversity is an opportunity to develop virtue and character. When we face difficulties, we have the opportunity to practice courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance. For example, if we lose a job, We can use this situation to assess our abilities, seek new opportunities, and learn to deal with uncertainty with dignity and determination. One of the most effective methods for developing resilience is the practice of self-control. When we face moments of stress or suffering, self-control helps us maintain calm and mental clarity. Instead of getting carried away by negative emotions, we can focus on finding rational and constructive solutions to problems. Stoic meditation is a useful tool for strengthening this ability, allowing us to reflect on our reactions and adjust our behavior accordingly. Another important practice is acceptance of circumstances. The Stoics teach that by accepting what we cannot change, we find peace and serenity. This does not mean resignation, but rather an attitude of adaptation and resilience. By accepting reality as it is, we can redirect our energy toward what is within our control and act more effectively. In addition, resilience is strengthened by the support of a community. Stoics value interpersonal relationships and believe that we can find strength and support in our connections with others. Sharing experiences and seeking advice from trusted people helps us face adversity with greater courage and hope. Thank you for watching our video on basic Stoic principles for beginners. I hope you found the information useful and inspiring to apply Stoicism in your daily life. Remember that Stoic philosophy is an ongoing practice and that each small step towards wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance can make a big difference. If you enjoyed this content and want to learn more about Stoicism and other practices to improve your mental health and well-being, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. That way, you won't miss any of our upcoming videos and can continue your journey of growth and self-discovery with us. Please like this video, share it with your friends and family, and leave a comment below telling us how you plan to apply Stoic principles in your life. We appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you in future videos. See you next time.